The Crew Lounge podcast offers a fresh perspective on the film industry, showcasing Hollywood through the lens of Black indie producers, with discussions about up-and-coming projects, personal stories of perseverance, and a focus on the systematic barriers within the industry, highlighting the resilience and creativity of Black filmmakers working to reshape the landscape of entertainment. So pictures up, quiet on set.
Hey, welcome to the Crew Lounge.
Bop, bop.
All right, yeah. So, all right, yeah, I'm your host, Shay Johnson,
And I'm your.
I'm on Shay J. Didn't quite work. I guess it didn't quite. I thought it rolled off, but
I ain't got nothing to do with this argument. I ain't got nothing to do with this argument.
I'll do the Johnson.
And I'm your other host, Gabby J. And welcome again to another episode.
Absolutely. Okay, and today we are talking about script to screen. All right, bringing them into those independent projects from script to screen. All right, and so
Which is not easy to do.
not easy
By
at
the way.
all. Not easy at all. From the script to the screen, it ain't easy. There's not a lot
period.
of easy parts in between that.
Yeah.
But it can be very rewarding. Very, very rewarding. So let's talk about a lot of times. When we're starting things out and we're going from script to screen, a lot of times it's a passion project. It's not always a project that is like someone's gonna come pay you and say, hey, I need you to make a movie about this. A lot of times it's a story that we just really, really, really want to tell. And we may not always have the resources, but somehow the story got to get out. Like it's just in you. It's got to get out. You're very passionate about the story. So sometimes it manifests itself. If you can get it from script to screen, that is an overall rewarding manifestation of all of your hard work and all of the passion that you put into it.
And with that, I just real quick to jump in. Are there any nuggets that you would like to, give to the people as far as what that process could possibly look like?
Oh God!
I know it's a lot, but
it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'm just asking because I know that a lot of the times we get caught up in trying to sell the script. We're so focused on selling it that you don't even see that as an option of doing it yourself. But then like after production, it's like, well, how do you get it from just the script to production, not only production, but somewhere where all of our friends and family could watch it.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, there's so much there. There's so much to cover.
We'll be talking for 5 hours about this.
Like more than 5 days.
Facts.
So many things. I'm just gonna talk about our last big passion project. I don't know if it was the same for you, but definitely a Rose and Concrete.
Oh, it definitely was
my passion project. And that was, I would say, that
absolutely was it was the same for me.
Yeah. So
sure.
And so how it got to where it got to was definitely a labor of love, and there's so many different nuggets and things of that nature that's just kind of embedded in there because prior to that, we've all worked on different things. We've all worked in, whether it be music videos, shorts,
commercials,
live
TV.
What I'm saying? All of that. We've all worked in different various parts of the industry. So for us, because we have so many projects, we really got to put them into categories, okay, of what is something that could be picked up by a television studio or a major film studio or something of that nature, or what is something that we can do.
And real quick to interject, you know what? I feel like we got to get this Patreon going because from these episodes, y'all are only going to hear so much.
Right.
Like we don't have that much time, but like the information that, Shay and Tay could like lay on y'all as far as actually getting distribution for your project, that is like for a lot of people, the hardest part, is like, okay, just like you said, a lot of people were saying, how would you make that? How are you going to make that? Like, it's not a good idea, to do that. And we made it anyway. And it could have been something, because post took, its time. Woo. It could have been something that y'all just let go. Right. And it was like, dang, they was right. We should never did it. Like nobody seen it besides like the crew or the three of us, really, right. And to actually get it distributed, to a platform like Amazon Prime, like that. I mean, there's people need to pay for that to hear how you do that. Yeah. But I digress. I digress. Yeah,
I'm gonna give you the nuggets. But if you want more, you definitely got to check out the Patreon, and we can give you the whole kind of, a little bit more of a play-by-play of some of the things that we did to get it to where it needs to be. Or it is right now. But for us, it started as a passion project, and this actually, to make a long story kind of short, but not short, but kind of short. So like for us, it was 2014, and we had a different version of Rose and Concrete, and it was about graffiti artists and things of that nature. But then once we were doing our series and we realized that, which is Lovers and Friends, LA. So check that out as well. Once we were doing our series, we realized we were damn near shooting the movie anyway.
Mm-hmm. we really was.
Because the series was, like a lot of times 45 minutes to an hour. 2 episodes of that, and you kind of have a series. And we wanted to do something that was just very different than what we were already doing. Not that we didn't love Lovers and Friends, we totally did. But, we were all kind of like in some way, shape, or form, nerdy art kids in some way, or, whatever, didn't always fit into the norm in every single situation. And so we really wanted to write sort of a love story. And that's another thing. We really didn't see a lot of love stories, a lot of Black love stories at the time.
Yeah.
There was a few. I mean, one of my favorite movies is Love and Basketball.
Yes.
Right? Like I love that movie. I love the way it's told. I love.
Oh my God.
I love it so much. I love Sanaa. I love all of it. Like I love
just the perfect film.
It really is. It gets so like and obviously in the Black community, people know it.
Yeah.
Outside of the Black community, people don't always know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those
crazy
classic. To me, I feel like it is like the Black Notebook. Ooh. In a sense. I mean, now granted, all of the elements are not there. It's not set in the back in the 30s, 40s, or whatever, and it's not about this notebook. But I
get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, but when it comes to like a classic love story, it's I feel like it's the Black community of the Black community's The Notebook, or Love Jones could also be argued to be the Black community's Notebook.
That's true
as well. So. We wanted to tell a love story, but at the same time, we wanted to tell a story about a kid that didn't fit in. We wanted to tell a story about, and at the time, we were living in I'm just going to say it, like we were living in South Central. We had just come from Florida, me and Tay. We were starting out. It was kind of rough. We got what we could get, which, by the way, that South Central apartment was dope. I'm sorry. Like I felt like it was pretty dope. I mean, it was crazy on the outside. It was crazy on the outside. Like you had to have
that was also when I came.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it was mass spacious on the inside.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can't sleep on some of them like South Central.
Yeah,
it might be.
The outside was crazy though, but the inside was definitely
Hey, we was upstairs though, so we felt like we had our own little thing. I mean, there was a whole pool table when we came in there.
Wow!
It was a whole pool right in that, and we were like,
because it was so much space in there. Low key.
It was so much space. In
I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, it's always the cheap apartments that we like have. Anyway, in the worst areas, like it's just a whole bunch of. I digress. But anyway, dang, where was I? I forgot where I was at.
You was talking about y'all had just moved to South Central.
Yeah. So we were ingrained in what was going on, like in what we were seeing in the community and all that. And we were like, we saw a lot of graffiti. And so that was kind of like, I was like, man, I would love to get into the story of these graffiti artists and how they do their thing. But we fast forward, 2017 and 2018 up to 2019, we changed the whole thing. And I'm going to tell you why we changed it. We tried to keep the essence of the story the same, but we started thinking like producers. And when you think like producers, you start thinking about locations. You start thinking about the amount of talent. You start thinking about how, the logistics,
the budget,
all of the things. And we thought, how can we tell the same story about these two kids growing up in South Central that were doing graffiti, and all of that? How can we tell that same story, but with a whole different dynamic to it? Where they're still artists, they still fall in love against societal circumstances. But they're doing something different. Like, so how can we do that? And so we changed it to dance because again, we're all artists in some way, shape, or form. And we know, just living in South Central at the time, that, there was a certain look on Black masculinity and so on and so forth. So we changed it to dance because we wanted to show a softer side of the masculine male growing up in South Central, and at the same time tell a love story. And so we did that, and that of course made it easier to shoot because we couldn't shoot a whole bunch of graffiti. Like, how were we going to shoot that? Like, we would have to have different sets that that we could actually do the graffiti on, and it wasn't gonna be practical for us. But dance was definitely a more practical thing, but at the same time beautiful in its own way, right? So we did that, but of course, we didn't really have money like that, and we didn't really have a lot of things. So, like I talked about in a previous episode, we called upon our relationship. We called upon people that we knew we had worked with in doing different things, and Gabby from LNF, she was a dynamic. It is a dynamic assistant director. And had done that in the LNF, and we're like, who can we get? And of course, she was right there on the list. She was right there at the top. You know what I'm saying? And then we start putting together everybody else that we knew, and we started trying to figure out ways that we could streamline locations, because that's always super, super important. And then it's but a lot of people that are starting out, they, the best way to cut production is to cut locations. Another way to cut production is to cut the amount of people that you need. Now, granted, this was kind of I would say a medium-sized cast. It wasn't like too small, it wasn't too big. And we did kind of have medium-sized locations too, because it was like, we had some, but we knew that these locations would be easy for us to get in and out of. And we also didn't want to be married to locations. Because that's something that I always teach to my students as well, is that, you want to be able to tell the story with any location that you're in. Like, yes, you might feel like you need this. We actually cut out the barbershop. Actually, we cut out the whole character because Taylor's supposed to be
oh yeah, that's right.
It's supposed to be midnight. If you don't know, if you don't know, you need to go watch the movie.
I was gonna be a goon.
References to midnight.
I was gonna see my face too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You need to hear the references to midnight, because that was supposed to be our producer, my co-producer, co-director, and DP. Like, that she was supposed to be midnight, and that was going to be
co-writer too, right?
The whole thing, right? The whole thing. So she was supposed to be midnight, and she was supposed to be at the barbershop, and and all this stuff supposed to happen at the barbershop. But we was like, you know what? We need to cut all that and make it a phone call. So if you see in the movie, Jay's talking to Midnight on the phone, you get the idea that he's a drug dealer. Right. You don't really need to see, Midnight for a scene, because one scene there would just kind of like take up like all the all the time and the money and just a lot of things, because there's a lot that goes into setting up and striking. Man, and people don't always think about that. There's set up and you strike, and set up and you strike, and that's time all the time. And then you're paying another location that you're never gonna need. You're only gonna need it for one scene. Like, there was a few scenes that was like that. Like I think at one point the scene when they were eating the burger was supposed to be
Oh
that was supposed to be like
yeah.
at a restaurant or some kind of burger joint or someplace else, and we
We
end up
moved it
just
to the
like, why
car.
would we not just have them eat? Like they can get food to go. Like, what are we talking about?
And
You know what I'm
it worked
saying?
out too. It
Yeah,
worked
like
out.
why do we have to
Yeah.
go over there and sit down, set up, strike, make sure we have this relationship with the location? Why do we need to do that? They could just have the burgers and they could still say the same dialogue anywhere.
Yeah.
Why are we married to a location? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about being married to locations. And there's so much more I can
Yeah.
tell, I can say. You know, uh Patreon, you know. There's so much more details that I could give just in terms of how everything got made and everything. But it's you have to cut corners, but at the same time you want the story to be
Yeah.
intact.
And one thing I will say is like, it's such a pleasure. I'll give y'all flowers right now. It's such a pleasure as an AD to work on set with you guys because the things that you just mentioned, like it takes a lot of experience in doing this to understand like to practice discernment when it comes to those things, to the budget, to locations, to talent, to crew, and trying to, you know, make your budget stretch as far as it can. And, you know, working on a lot of, I've worked on a lot of different projects where it wasn't easy as it was working on set with you guys to come to you and be like, you know, do we need this scene? You know, do we need this shot? Can we start cutting things and like, can we get this? Can we get these pages, but in a different way? Or can we combine this? Or is it parts that we cut out so that we could get what we need, you know? And like talking to, you know, working on other sets and having those same conversations with different directors. And they're like, no, it's supposed to be like this, supposed to, you know. And it's like, but, you know, we're in the same situation. We don't have time. We don't have money. You know, people are getting cranky, you know, and I, as an AD, want you to get what you need. You know, I'm not trying to cut stuff out that's gonna kill the script, you know, that's gonna kill the story. And I feel like you usually have, you know, the script so well, you know, I understand you wrote it, but it going from the script to the director's hat and having to direct talent and still remember like, oh yeah, this scene is this and they're wearing this, and you know, oh yeah, this person comes out from around the corner, and you know, we could cut that part out. We don't need that though. And now that I think about it, it's like, you know, like you and Tay move so quickly with making those decisions that it makes my job easier working on set with you guys compared to other sets where the director is not open to it, don't want to cut anything out, don't feel the need to because they don't understand time. They don't understand like the beats. Like I feel like on set, it's like it's a beat. You know, like it's a rhythm, shall I say, like, you know, and we all kind of needs to be moving together, like in unison in order to maximize everybody's time and talent. And if that rhythm is not there, it just makes it so difficult to get through the day. So I just want to give y'all flowers and
I
say
appreciate that. We totally appreciate that, man. Like for us, and I know for me, but I feel like I'm speaking to like for us, it was 3 letters that did that made that shit what it was and made us be like that in certain ways. Like, I mean, there was other things too, but those 3 letters, and you already know what they are. L and F. L and F.
Absolutely.
L and
Absolutely.
F. Because when you are out there and you're shooting, and a lot of times because of the what's the guerrilla style of filmmaking and indie and we don't have we wouldn't know a location until we got there. Yeah. And then we gotta size it up.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we gotta size up the location and be like, oh my God, okay, so they're gonna walk in here and they're gonna do this, and you know, and because a lot of times people are not taught in that way. I feel like for us, LNF was a teaching ground for ourselves because we learned how to make decisions so quick because we knew we only had a certain amount of time in so and so's house. You know what I'm saying? A certain amount of time with so and so, because they gotta go, you know, pick up whoever and their mama coming to get whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Right. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we knew how to shoot we learned how to shoot so fast and so crazy and we learned how to get what we wanted, and then even in LNF, it didn't always turn out, especially in the beginning, the way we wanted it to turn out.
Yeah.
But the more we did it, the better we got at being able to make sure we are getting the real meat and potatoes of what we need to get without all the frills. Who cares about it? Whatever. We need you to get this shot. We because we've worked with other people that, could spend a million hours on a 2-minute scene.
Literally.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, legit.
Yeah, legit. And it's not like we want to put out garbage. We don't. It's just that we've gotten so good at putting things out fast that now we know how to put out really good things in a fast way as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that was a really good training ground. And I want to say too, I don't remember for like a Rose and Concrete. I don't remember whose idea it was, because that was such a good example of what you said. Whose idea it was? I think it might have been mine, but I don't want to take the whole credit. But when we had that scene where they were supposed to be like the scene where Jay beats up. Well, I don't want to give too much stories, but has that fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they're already talking, and they're supposed to be talking in the bedroom. The two main characters are supposed to be talking in the bedroom. They're supposed to go to the living room. They're supposed to go to the kitchen. Yeah. And in that day, we just decided, all right, nah. Why do we need for them to talk in the bedroom again? You know what I'm saying? Why do we need to go to the living room? For what reason? Like, what's the reason for that? And we know eventually they're going to end up in the kitchen. Yep. All three of them. So let's just cut out all these scenes and put them in the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was like, and being able to have that mindset of, we're not married to, oh my gosh, it has got to be in the living room because we need to show this picture in the background.
Yeah.
Like for no reason other than some aesthetic.
Yep.
We, and it's not to say that we don't want good aesthetics,
but
we really, 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 at the time we were really pressed for time.
Yeah.
And something got to give. Because in LA and in Hollywood, and it really, when people say, when we say time is money, it really is money.
I mean, legit.
Like for any production that's really going on, time is money.
Yeah.
Because you're paying somebody something at some hourly or daily rate. and if it goes over, there's another hourly or daily rate to contend with.
Yes.
So, and at the time, I think we had kids on set.
Yes.
I don't know if they were in there.
Not for that one.
Not that day.
Yeah.
But still, we knew even then we had to do certain things. We knew we had to shoot fast and all that. So there's more again on Patreon. But eventually, definitely more, because there's a whole lot more about getting the post production of that and getting that to where it is on Amazon and all of that now. So there's a lot that goes into that, but we'll save some for another day.
Yeah.
But,
the nuggets, man.
Yeah. But I will say though, it's really important to be able to bring Black stories to the screen. It really, really is. And that was one of the biggest pushes that we had in making Rose and Concrete, because we just were lacking, especially at that particular time. Now, granted, Rose and Concrete came out in 2024, but it was conceptualized in 2014, and then reconceptualized again in 2019 for film, for actual film content. So at the time, we weren't seeing a lot of Black love stories. Yeah. Unfortunately, we just weren't. There wasn't a lot of Jason's Lyrics. It wasn't a lot of Love Jones out there. It wasn't a lot of Love and Basketballs. It wasn't a lot of all those other stuff kind of happening. We did have the movie with Issa Rae, the Photograph that came out close to around that time. Yeah. But and that was good, and I gave it its flowers. Yeah. We weren't having those. We were having a lot of comedies sometimes, but not that heartfelt, emotional type of story.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what are we watching? What are we watching?
Today I'm a just take it to reality TV. I've been watching the Tia Mowry.
That was so good.
Yeah, the reality show. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, and I just feel like she is. I was just telling my wife, like, she's one of our icons from back in the day that I don't mind like watching her kind of open up and be authentic, because I do miss a point of time where we didn't know our celebrities outside of the screen, like outside of them knowing that a camera is recording them, for instance, interviews, or they know they're being watched by paparazzi, or they're, they're on a game show or something like that. And we don't see what they do when they at home. Right. It's a part of me that misses that. But with Tia, I love watching her just in any facet, because I feel like she's so fascinating, but also she seems so authentic. Yeah. And her going through like this divorce and stuff, she's super emotional on the show, but I feel like it's a good show. Like I'm really messing with it. So that's what I'm watching.
Okay, I definitely gotta check it out. Because I've been hearing good things about that. Yeah.
Yes, so good. Like, man, it really is. Yeah. So
I'm gonna bring it back to power. I can't get enough. And in terms of Black stories, it's just like people sometimes in the industry, I feel like can be sleeping on the fact that there's a whole universe here of content.
Yes.
Like, and I want to see that being nominated for Emmys and all of that. Why is that not being shown as much? I mean, we know that it's good. We know that it's powerful. We know that the storytelling is amazing. We know all of that, but I feel like sometimes it doesn't always get the right shine, But for me, I feel like power is, and right now I mean, we just wrapped up Ghost. I'm waiting for Kanan. So I'm not currently watching because I'm still waiting.
Kanan is my favorite too.
I love Kanan. I love Kanan. The mom, she's just a beast. Yeah. Like, I don't know where she came from, but she just
my God.
Beast and stuff. Like,
Kanan's my favorite one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
Kanan, yeah. Okay. Power
I just call them all power.
Yeah.
The other power, the other one.
The Tommy Power.
I'm like the Mary J one or the...
It's not going to be the name. Because they talk about like power, what is the power one with Tommy? But but it's not going to be the names. Kanan, Tariq, and Tommy. Those are the ones.
There we go.
And unfortunately, it saddens me that, the one with Tariq is over. Yeah. It's come to an end, but it had a very good run.
It really did.
Amazing run.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still looking forward to Kanan. So
yeah.
Bring Kanan on. Let's go. So definitely that. So what you working on?
So right now, I do have a music video in the queue for my brother. Me and him just been kind of bouncing off each other, using each other as a muse and just sharpening our skills. So I have another music video in a vault that'll be dropping sometime soon. So
sweet. I feel like right now, we did a short and it got some praise, split second, from different film festivals, and we're trying to expand that into a feature film.
Let's go.
Because I'm itching to do another feature film. I'm itching to knock them out. And so it's got some good buzz. People are looking at it, and we're going to continue to put it out in different festivals. But right now we're looking at somebody hopefully being able to help us expand it into a feature. So.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you for kicking it with us in the Crew Lounge. Don't forget to watch and subscribe. Hit us up for what you're working on, so we can give you your shine too. Hit us up on 1025productioncompany.com at gmail.com. So 1025productioncompany@gmail.com.
You killed that. There you go.
And also leave us comments, inbox us for whatever it is that you're working on and anything that you want to share regarding the industry. Questions you might have, we're here to answer, and we're here to just represent. It's a wrap.
It is a wrap. We gotta get better on this. Okay.
Yeah. I thought when I heard it, I thought we was.
It's me.
Did I jump the gun?
It's me. I gotta